Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Zev Schlossinger from WizKids.
Hello there.
Getting an overview of Sidereal Confluence from Tal Ceti Dykeman, a game for 4 to 9 players with a decent-sized playing time and a big scope.
Very big scope, yes.
I have here. Talking with him a little bit at a convention earlier, and he was, saying that this game has been in the works for years.
Yes.
There's a lot going on. You were just telling a little bit more before we started filming here. About sort of the odyssey of the game. I don't know if you want to talk a little about that or just dive into.
No, I'll dive into it. I'll let Tal do that when he gets a chance because I don't know all the intricacies of it. Actually, I like to call this game, it's Chinatown on steroids.
Okay.
So it gives an idea because of the negotiation aspect of it. So as you said, it is a 4 to 9 player game. You are playing an alien race. Basically, everyone's coming together for a confluence. You're coming there. They want to build a trade federation, a galactic trade federation. But of course, being your own culture, you want your ideals to be at the forefront of the federation. Yes. So in that way, it's competitive. But no, we're not out to backstab each other or anything like that. We're friendly. And actually, when you build technologies, you share the technologies with other players. You do get to use them first for one round, and then you share them the next round. The game actually only takes, no matter the number of players, it usually clocks in at only 2.5 hours.
Okay.
So actually not too bad. It's not a full evening of gaming
because
with that.
There's like simultaneous play as you're doing everything.
Exactly. There's no turns. You have basically the trade phase, which is all simultaneous negotiation. Then you have the economic phase where you simultaneously run your converters, which you'll see some of them on the various cards, where you input resources and you output resources. And then it slows down a little bit with the bidding phase, but still you bid simultaneously, and then you reveal the bids. You're bidding for colonies, and then highest bid picks the colonies, and this is just a shortened track. Just to show, and then you also bid for research teams to help you build technologies.
Okay.
Just as a quick start, so you see a bunch of resource stuff here, and again, it's just a small supply of it. What you're doing is there a particular card I can show? So, for example, like better to go like this.
Nope.
Right there, beautiful. So, as you can see on this card, so we have a lunar mining consortium. So you can see this requires 2 blue resources, and it would output 2 ships, a black resource and a white resource.
Okay.
So if you see what the resources you have, maybe you need blue. So you have to look around the table. Who's got blue? Hey, I got yellow that you need. I'll give you blue. And then that's where the negotiation is. You're almost always going to need to negotiate with another race because they'll have things that you don't have.
Okay.
So once all the negotiations stop, then you run your converters, and that's where you can place your 2 blue cubes here, and then you would run the converters there. Also during the trade phase, you'll see purple arrows. Purple arrows can be run during the trade phase. What this does is it allows you to spend 2 black and a particular planet, a colony. It would generate a VP, a yellow, and it will allow you to flip the card. And now that converter, which is an oxonic outer system harvesting, will now allow you to generate extra things. And if you look over here carefully, this tells you when you flip it what it will generate extra.
Okay.
Exactly. And as you can see, we talked about trading. So we traded resources. You can also trade colonies. So if you have colonies, you can trade them. You can even trade your own cards to other people. The only rule with trading your cards is that if somebody has your card at the end of the turn, they have to return it. But if it doesn't have a color border belonging to a race, then they keep it permanently.
Okay,
so that's to keep in mind.
Right here.
So, which is things like colonies over here would do it, and there's other certain other cards that do it. Research. These are the things that tell you when you get a research team. So you can spend either 6 green or 2 ultra tech. It will give you a victory point, and you can invent clinical immortality. So everybody has a library of cards. You would find clinical immortality right there, and now this would be part of your tableau, and then that's a converter you'll be able to run.
Okay, I was going to ask about this. So each player has their own deck?
Yes, everybody has a library. It's the same deck, but sometimes the resources will differ for them.
Okay.
But that's why and you see Era 1 tech, Era 2 tech, and Era 3 tech. So depending on what you build, this is your library. So this is chosen as they are built. So when you build it, you get it free. But then at the end of the round, you say, hey, I built this, and you get a sharing bonus, which is, depending on the turn, it gets less value as you do it. Everybody gets to pull out Clinical Immortality.
Okay.
Now, just as a quick thing with Clinical Immortality, if you notice, we have some things here: genetic engineering, atomic transmutation. So if you have genetic engineering, for example, or atomic transmutation, if you like, meaning let's say you generate a lot of blue, or you can get blue, you say, you know what, I can run this a lot more than I can run that. You can put this under this flips because you're paying the atomic transmutation, it covers this, and now you have a slightly better, now you have practical immortality, for example.
Good,
so now you get, so here you're getting an additional yellow.
Okay.
So that's the stuff you do. You're looking for the resources that you need to run your converters, get the cards that you need to hopefully upgrade your converters. The other thing to mention is each alien race is very asymmetrical. They play very differently. And we just put 2 samples here. Every race actually has a tips and advice card. So it gives you some information. You can see a little history of them, a little bit of how they act in the confluence, and then it explains a little bit of some of their some of their cards, and then some advice on how to play them.
Okay.
Because they're so different, that's why. So for example, the Foderon, they have what's called a Relic World deck, which is that nobody else has that. So this tells you that during the trading phase, for 4 white and you consume an ice planet, you can turn that over and gain that. And sometimes it'll be free converters. But this one, when this card enters play, you gain those resources, and now you can run that converter, which is a yellow-black, and it gives you 2 VP. But every Relic World deck is different. A Relic World card is different. Some will just give you resources. Some you may have to give to somebody.
Okay.
So it's very different. The kit over here, I'm not going to pronounce their full name, it's very big. So their converters are paired, and when you can upgrade, right, but you can actually upgrade them singly. So if you do this, then you can upgrade it like that, and then later if you want, upgrade that, if you wish.
Okay.
All right? So, excuse me. So they play differently. These guys, they have their starting cards as well, but they can also bring out 3 special tiles, and again, by paying what's up here, they can generate these things, and then they can even flip it and now get multiple converters that they can run. So everybody plays different. Also, the number of colonies. So for example, some races do spread out more and they can get a lot of colonies, and some really have trouble holding on to colonies. If you look at the each race will tell you some of the abilities they have, and then a colony support. So these can only handle 3. These guys can handle 6, and again, it's different. The kit over here, actually, we talked about, they actually have their own colony deck, so they don't even have to bid for these. If they want, if they can get yellow, they'll buy their own colonies, and they can also trade these. And because it's their color, so they can trade these almost, I think, permanently, I believe. So yeah, you can give somebody, look at this, generate for yellow, you can flip it, I'm sorry, it generates a green, this brings it into play, I apologize, and then you can get a brown turned into a blue, and it also gives you this planet, which you might use for, let's say, the Kalion. Remember we said that these guys wanted to consume, an ice planet? Well, hey, I can sell you, I can trade you this. So these are the things that are available to do. You can also trade ships, and ships are actually interchangeable, even though we made them in the flavor of the race.
Right.
And it's the same cost, so it doesn't matter. But you can trade ships. Ships are what's used for bidding on colonies and bidding on the research teams.
Okay.
So as you can see, everyone plays very, very differently. This is just 4 of the 9 races that I have on the table. These are the victory point trackers. Just trying to see any other particular thing. There's something called donation, which I don't know if I can find. You'll see things, like this.
Yeah.
So here's a stasis field. You'll notice a violet border and usually an outstretched hand. What that means is this is something you must trade on your next turn. You cannot keep it. And if you don't trade it away, you got to give it to somebody. Okay. So there are many times where you can get extra resources, but they have to be donated.
Okay.
So yeah, in a nutshell,
that was like a whirlwind presentation there.
Yes, it was.
A lot going on at once, and I was trying to imagine this around the table.
Yeah, so
Quite
you
active
figure,
here.
so you figure out a lot of people, negotiating, and then again, once negotiation stops, everyone just runs their converters by themselves, and then we do the bidding as we said. We get colonies, we get research teams, then you share technologies, and then you go back to another turn. You play 6 turns, and the player with the most VP wins the
Okay.
game.
And I think it's $65.
And it's 64.99, 65 of the show, 64.99 retail.
All right. There we go.
Yes.
Thanks very much, Zev. Overview of Sidereal Confluence.
Yes. Thank you.
That's right.